Hello, guys. Good morning. Again, this is Jan, and so for the past two videos, I'm sure you have seen it. Like the first one is all about the academic education. So this is basically what we learn in school, like typical language, reading, math, and all of that. Number two is personal education. So the purpose of the personal education is to know ourselves better, because again, we may know that we know ourselves deep enough and well enough, but there are every day as we live, we always experience different things. Hence, it will accumulate. All of these experiences will accumulate, and because of that, it will also change our personality. Okay, that's the reason why when we hang out with your friends after a long time, they're going to say, hey, something is not, hey, you have changed, maybe it's your hair, the things that they can see, but it's also about who we are. Okay, so that's personal education. So today we're going to talk about the third kind of education. This is what we call the professional education. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Professional education is about anything that can help us in terms of our work. Now, we all have different work. Like you may be an accountant, you may be a lawyer, you may be an operations manager, you may be like a social media marketer, you may be a graphic designer. Despite, we all have like different kinds of work. So the point is, we all have work. Okay, that's life. Try to imagine after we graduate around 20 years old, 21, 22, depends. Some of us graduate at the age of 19. And for the next 40 or like 50 years of our lives and the rest of our lives, before we retire, we're going to do a lot of work. Right? So, meaning to say, professional education is really important in our lives because we're going to spend around 40, 30 years or even more to work. Okay, so Jan, what is professional education? Again, this is something related about your work. If you are a graphic designer, what you're going to learn about is about design. Like for example, color palette, or Photoshop, and how to see things in a different perspective, and how to make a logo, and there's like a meaning. Okay, so that's professional education for graphic designers. But if you notice, it's not going to be the same if you're an accountant or a lawyer, because in accounting, you need to understand the balance sheet, the financial statement, the check and balance, and all the amounts. What's the meaning of asset? What's the meaning of liability? What's the meaning of owner's equity? How do we balance the papers and all of that? So the professional education of a graphic designer is not the same with an accountant. See? So this is what we mean. Like when we get educated about our work, it's different. That's the reason why it's better to collaborate with people, because there are just some things that I don't know. For example, I like design in a way, like I like to see beautiful things, but I don't know how to design them, man. So what's the best way to do it? I just collaborate with a graphic designer, and so it's easier for me to understand, oh, that's the reason why you chose that color, that's the reason why that's the image of the logo, that's the reason why, and all of that. See? Okay. Good thing about professional education is that there are a lot of seminars out there. There are a lot of like trainings out there that will help us with our work. For example, if you want to know more about management, there are like management trainings. Okay. If you want to know more about sales, there are also sales seminar. Like if you go to Grant Cardone, like for example, Grant Cardone, he's like a sales guy, a really good sales guy. And he has been in that area for quite some time. Okay, so because of his experiences, he wants to share it to the world through a webinar, or email content and all of that. So if you also want to learn about graphic designing, there are also like two-day seminars or like workshops about graphic designing, or like Photoshop. If you want to learn more about coding, there are websites out there that's going to give you such information. So see, so the good thing about professional education is that it's everywhere, okay? If you want to learn more about flowers and how to make them beautiful, you can search it in Google, and there are a lot of places that you can go to. If you want to learn more about like web design, there are also a lot of videos or content out there that can help you. So professional education has become like a commodity, because as we grow, we need support from our mentors. We need support from the people who already gone through all the things that we have, or that we have yet to experience. Okay? So that's professional education. Personal experience, and here we go. When I was 19 years old, I was assigned to be the workforce manager. And I didn't know anything about workforce management. In fact, that was the first time I heard the word workforce. I didn't understand what workforce means. So the primary job is to check the attendance of people, all right? Like, and create systems out of it. And so I didn't understand it, and then all of a sudden people were calling me over the phone. Yeah, that's the reason why you're calling me over the phone. And then they're going to say, hey Jan, I can't make it to work today because I'm sick and all of that. And here's the challenge. I don't know what to do when they say that. Like, I'm not sure if I have the authority to say, okay, just go rest. Or like, should I ask for a medical certificate? Or what's the process? Like, how do I inform the client that this guy is not showing up? Or how can we manage the workload? All right. So because of that, I didn't know what to do. So what I did was I asked help from an operations manager who was working with a workforce manager. This is my boss, right? This is my boss. So I asked help, and so she helped me out in terms of creating systems and create the processes out of it, have it reviewed by her, and then when it gets approved, I now understand, okay, this is the process. So what's the point? Sometimes professional education happens when you are in the zone. When you're already working, you just need to adjust accordingly, okay? We don't go through exams, theory sometimes, and then just, when we are in the practical world, we just eventually do it. No, sometimes we just have to go through it and then make systems out of it. And professional education. So that was like one of the experiences that I had before. And yeah, I hope this is really helpful to you guys. Again, this is professional education. Good news is we need to learn everything. We need to understand about work. Okay, so on the next video, we're going to share about the physical education. This is about our muscles and all of that. Now, I am not an expert of this, but I just want to share my thoughts about it and how it works and how I understand things. So yeah, thank you. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you guys, and have a great day.